Okay, I have so many questions for you about wrestling and what you
hmm
do. Okay, but I have to start with this background. Where are we sitting? Where am I talking to you from?
This is just my like apartment situation, and I've always been into like frogs and turtles and lizards and stuff, so I have a bunch of that back there, and yeah.
Wow, how many?
Oh, I have like 8 frogs, 4 geckos, um, and then a couple other like lizards and turtles.
Wow, okay, what are some of these named after? Do we have funky names?
I don't name most of them. I
Okay.
just named like the first one I got, which I got like around Halloween, so I named it like Hollow, which is kind of a lame name, but I was
Oh,
just like gotta be something dedicated to that. And then
okay.
yeah, I got these 2 new frogs too, like recently, and I want to name them probably, but I haven't decided yet.
Ooh, okay. What if we I don't know, one could be Norman, one could be Boomer,
Yeah,
one could be Sooner.
yeah, that's smart. Yeah, Boomer and Sooner.
Exactly, just names for you to think about. All right.
Yeah.
But Carter, listen, something else that you have brought back to Norman is a title, having won that Las Vegas Invitational. And I want to take you back to that moment, to the overall Invitational itself. What would you say was your toughest match, your hardest opponent?
Um, Honestly, I think the first match was my hardest just because for some reason I got really tired that match and um, I don't know, just to get the nerves out and whatnot. But yeah, that first match was probably the most exhausting.
Interesting. You think there's any, I don't know, anything about a lizard, anything about a turtle that you could find in your wrestling game, if you will? Or is that too much of a stretch?
Um, I feel like a lot of my friends say that I wrestle like a bunch of different animals. So
Oh.
yeah, I used to been like nicknamed in the past like Frogman, and they say I look like a gorilla and whatnot because I'm kind of short and stocky and built for my weight. But yeah, I get that a lot.
Interesting. Okay, I'm glad that we found, a little red string that we could tether between all
Yeah.
of that. uh, in that tournament that you came out on top with in your weight class, 174, what did you learn about yourself that you're going to be able to take with you throughout the rest of this season?
I think one thing I've really been trying to focus on is like the process and just like making sure that I'm executing what I'm really good at and what I know I can do. And I realized throughout that tournament that I can execute the things that I believe in against anybody in the country. And I just need to go out and wrestle more, and everything's going to work out for me.
Take me to that moment when you're at the top of the podium, okay? You've won it. What's going through your mind?
Um, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just like maybe relief knowing that I put so much work in for so many years and um, kind of been, I haven't competed a lot in the past few years, and just knowing that I've been doing all the right things and just like trusting in the preparation I put into like, all those previous years to that moment and for future moments was like really special for me.
So I know that the conference is also recognizing that, you being the Big 12
Mhm.
Wrestler of the Week after your performance in Las Vegas. What would you say is your standard? What are the expectations that you have for yourself in this season?
I think one standard that I'm really, really, really focused on is I would just want to make sure I go into like every practice remembering why I do it and what I want to achieve. And I think that's really helped elevate myself this year. Just making sure that I like remind myself every morning where I want to be at the end of the year and why I do it.
Awesome. What is your pre-match routine? Do we have anything that we have to do before we wrestle?
I definitely like to pull up my socks before I get on the mat just so I know I could get the like little color straps on. That's important for me, but I also just kind of like remind myself that it's at the end of the day it's just wrestling and there's no reason to be worried about anything. I put a lot of preparation in, and I put a lot of effort in, and I'm very confident in how I, prepared myself. So it's just time to go have fun,
Very cool. Okay. Who were you as a wrestler at California Baptist then versus now, you being at Oklahoma?
I think the biggest difference for me is my mindset when I'm on the mat. I think when I was in California and even like my whole entire high school career, it's always been, oh, just get a takedown, control the match, and get out. And now it's like my main mentality is like attack, like always be on that guy, no matter what, like control the pace and make that guy not want to wrestle.
Awesome. Why did you choose the Big 12?
The Big 12 is one of the best conferences for sure, and I just think it gives me the best opportunity, honestly, to go to the NCAA's and compete at my best.
Tell me about your journey, if you will, from upstate New York all the way out to California and now being in Norman, Oklahoma. How did you get all across there? What were you up to?
So it's pretty interesting. I started in upstate New York, and then later on I actually went to a boarding school for wrestling in Pennsylvania. And then from there, I ended up in California training, and I was willing to sacrifice going anywhere in the country to be great at what I love. And I realized that California wasn't the place for me, and that I had to look somewhere else. And then I found Oklahoma, and I really, really am excited to be here, and I think this is the best place for me.
What should somebody watching know about you as a wrestler in terms of what it takes to be one, let alone a good one competing at this level?
I think you gotta really understand that you got to do it for the right reasons, and if you don't love it, it's going to be really, really hard to do it because of how difficult the sport is and how much sacrifice it takes.
What kind of training, what does the year look like in terms of training? I know that we're looking at kind of nationals, March, April time, but what does it look like up until that point?
It's always a mixture every week of getting a couple of really hard practices in, making sure that, we're getting past like that wall, pushing that wall back a little bit, but at the same time, like trying to hone our skills and not necessarily learning new techniques altogether, but fixing like little nuanced details and like the things I already know.
Yeah. Does this one have a name?
Yeah, this one's hollow. This is the first one I got.
Oh,
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got like these little bars, and then you can't see it because of my camera's not very good, but there's like cool little black dots in them too. And that's pretty interesting body. And then it kind of looks like a little like monster, but yeah, they're pretty sick.
what like breed of gecko? Is that the right question to ask?
So this is called a Leachianus gecko, and then they are also known as giant geckos because this is like the largest species of gecko in the world. So geckos are usually pretty small, but this one's obviously pretty big, and they could get up to like the size of like probably like my forearm. So this one's not the biggest, but it's still pretty cool.
Okay, how old is he?
I've had this one for 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, fun fact, my brother had two geckos when we were growing up. One ate the other's tail. And that's what I can tell you about my knowledge of geckos. They were small.
And
They were
it
like,
came off. Huh.
or
I
that. Either one. Listen,
so I have two that this one doesn't lose its tail, but I have two that I used to breed when I was a kid, and like the tank in the middle and the bottom.
yeah.
And those ones drop their tails if like they're scared, or like so like if there's like a thunderstorm or something, they might drop it, which kind of sucks. It just depends on if they're skittish or not.
Can you I I could never imagine being a gecko for one, but to then be something that can just drop a tail whenever they get a little wow, I'm learning so much. Okay, well now I'm greedy and I want to see a frog. Can we see a frog?
All right. I have really cool frogs. You want to see a frog that like looks like moss, or one that like has like almost like snowflakey looking? I don't know.
Snowflakey. I
It's
feel
like
like
very white and
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Is it like albino?
Uh, it's just that's just like the way the species looks and the way that they like breeded it in captivity. They got it to like look pretty white, and it's like got tealish colors maybe too, I would say.
Look
Here,
at the-
I'm gonna go grab it before this dude's about to jump.
Bye, Hollow. Welcome back.
All right. So this one is called a. Oh, let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna get it to focus. It's a Cruzio hyalocraspidopus, or fringed leaf frog. Here, I want to use the camera. Do this. Yeah.
Wow.
These are super cool looking too. This is like my favorite, probably my favorite thing I have.
Okay, and this one does not have a name, right?
Yeah, no. And then it has a girlfriend too.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Look
what the
at
other
him.
one is. And the females are a lot bigger than the males, so he's pretty small.
Are the females a similar coloring, or kind of like birds where they're not as pretty?
Um, yeah, she's like the exact same, I'd say.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah, and then like the back of his legs too have like fringes. That's how like how they are. That's pretty cool. It looks like a leaf almost.
okay. Where you keep them? Is it like temperature regulated for them specifically?
So for them, the only thing that needs a heat lamp is my lizard up top, and the rest of them are good. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I
And
think that's officially the coolest looking frog I've ever seen in my life.
these frogs are their camouflage is so good. So like he's like just like slowly walking away because he doesn't want to be seen. But they just are pretty stationary most of the time because their camouflage is so supposed to be so good. And the
What is
reason I got gloves on is so I don't hurt him, because we like have a bunch of chemicals and we're pretty dirty compared to amphibians.
wow.
They
Okay,
absorb stuff.
what's his home environment if he
So
were out in the wild?
they're like high up in like the canopy, in Peru. This one specifically in Peru. But yeah, they're pretty sick.
Okay, I must ask, what is going to be the next amphibian, next reptile you're going to add to your home collection?
I was thinking I don't have dart frogs yet, and I might get dart frogs. And then something people don't really know about dart frogs is they get their poison from the stuff they eat in the wild. So in captivity, they're not poisonous.
Oh, well, haven't we just learned so much from this interview?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, this is the zoo experience, I guess.
Oh my God, the Carter Zoo. Wow. I love this. Carter, we're rooting for you so hard.
All right,
Please
thank
have
you.
a kick-ass season. Oh, you're awesome.